Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the December 18th, 2012 meeting of the Downers Grove Village Council. It's my privilege to call this meeting to order. There are copies of agendas on either side of the room, and I would invite those in the audience to please pick up a copy and follow along with our proceedings tonight. There will be multiple opportunities for comments, both with respect to items on our agenda, as well as items of a general matter that are not on our agenda for specific discussion tonight. It is our custom to begin our meetings by reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. So at this point in time, I'd like to ask everyone to please stand and recite the pledge with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Before I ask our village clerk to call the roll and officially start our meeting, as this is the last village council meeting before the holidays and the last village council meeting of the year, we had earlier considered injecting some holiday cheer into tonight's proceedings. But unfortunately, recent events have turned that idea into a far more somber one. Along with the rest of the world, Downers Grove was shocked and horrified by the brutal attack and senseless loss of innocent young lives last week at Sandy Hook Elementary School. As a community, Downers Grove sympathizes and mourns with all the residents of Newtown, Connecticut. The families of those most affected by this terrible tragedy are in our thoughts and in our prayers. Tonight we pause to honor the memories of the deceased and to give tribute to those who prevented further bloodshed. We have a very special guest tonight, Claire Drews, who is currently a student at Indiana University and a proud graduate of Downers Grove South. Taking a page from another recently televised program, Claire will perform a cappella for us tonight, the holiday classic Silent Night, in memory of those who were slain. After Claire concludes, I ask that we all observe a brief moment of silence, and then we will express our appreciation to Claire for being here tonight. Claire, the stage is yours. If you would please come. We have a microphone for you, and thank you for being here tonight.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory stream from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing Alleluia. Sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
If we may now have a moment of silence. Thank you, and thank you very much, Claire. It will come as no surprise that Claire is studying theater and drama at Indiana University. That was terrific. Thank you very much. Very moving. Merry Christmas to you. With that, I will ask our village clerk to please, our assistant village, I'm so broken up, our assistant village clerk to please call the roll.
Commissioner Rankin?
Here.
Commissioner Barnett?
Here.
Commissioner Neustadt?
Here.
Commissioner Durkin?
Here.
Commissioner Waldeck,
Here.
Commissioner Schnell,
Here.
Mayor Tully.
Here. Thank you very much. That brings us to item 3 on our agenda tonight, minutes of prior council meetings. We have one set of minutes for consideration tonight, and those are our minutes from a regular council meeting, December 11th, 2012. Are there any changes, questions, or comments to those minutes from any members of the council? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? These minutes are adopted unanimously. That brings us to item 4 on our agenda tonight, which, as advertised, is where we entertain comments of a general nature with respect to matters that are not appearing on our agenda tonight. Are there any questions from anyone in the audience with respect to any items of a general nature? Any questions or comments from any members of the audience? Hearing none, we'll move forward to item 5, which is reserved for public hearings. And for the first time in a number of weeks, we have no public hearings tonight. So that brings us to our consent agenda, which is item 6. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments from any members of the audience with respect to any of the items on the consent agenda? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Schnell,
Aye.
Commissioner Durkin,
Aye.
Commissioner Rankin,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnett,
Aye.
Commissioner Newstead,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldeck,
Aye.
Mayor Tully.
Aye. Consent agenda passes unanimously. It brings us to our active agenda. We have 3 items on our active agenda, which is item 7. We'll begin with 7A. Do I have a motion to adopt an ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $3 million of general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2013 of the Village of Downers Grove as presented?
Mayor Tully, move to adopt an ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $3 million general obligation bond, refunding bonds, Series 2013 of the Village of Downers Grove, DuPage County, Illinois, and providing for the levy and collection of a direct annual tax for the payment of the principal of and interest on said bonds as presented.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments from any members of the audience with respect to this item? Any questions or comments from members of the Village Council? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Schnell,
Aye.
Commissioner Durkin,
Aye.
Commissioner Rankin,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnett,
Aye.
Commissioner Newstead,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldeck,
Aye.
Mayor Tully.
Aye, that matter passes unanimously. That brings us to item 7B as in boy. Do I have a motion to adopt an ordinance establishing turn restrictions at Avery Coonley School as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments from any members of the audience with respect to the proposed turn restrictions? Questions or comments from members of the Village Council? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Schnell,
Aye.
Commissioner Durkin,
Aye.
Commissioner Rankin,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnett,
Aye.
Commissioner Newstead,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldeck,
Aye.
Mayor Tully.
Aye, that matter also passes unanimously. That brings us to item 7C as in Charlie, last item on our active agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt an ordinance to adopt updated reference codes for elevators in the Village of Downers Grove?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments from any members of the audience with respect to the elevator code? Questions or comments from members of the Village Council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Schnell,
Aye.
Commissioner Durkin,
Aye.
Commissioner Rankin,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnett,
Aye.
Commissioner Newstead,
Aye.
Commissioner Waldeck,
Aye.
Mayor Tully.
Aye. That matter passes unanimously. That brings us to the end of our active agenda. It brings us to item 8, our first reading or workshop portion of our meeting when we discuss matters for possible action at a future point in time. And we have 2 first reading or workshop items tonight. As is traditional, we turn it over to Village Manager David Fieldman for presentation by either himself or his outstanding staff.
It will be members of our outstanding staff tonight, Mayor. We actually have 2 report outs instead of items for further action, just informational items that we thought the council and the community would like to be aware of. Our first report is our year-end capital projects report, which will be presented by our Public Works Director, Nan Newland.
Good evening.
Good evening. At our last meeting of the year, I'd like to take a few minutes and give you an overview of the projects that were completed in 2012, highlighting the areas of streets, stormwater, water, and sidewalks. This map should look familiar to everyone. It can be found on the village's website under the Construction Updates tab. Clicking on a project on the map will take you to any of our projects where you'll find information about the project, who to contact, and updated project status information. Over the past couple of years, we have been making some improvements in the way we communicate about our projects to the community and to the residents of the project's effect, starting with information like this available on the website, detailed project information, project meetings with residents, communications to their homes, door hangers, and a variety of methods to get hold of everyone, including e-news, where they can subscribe to text updates with weekly updates about their particular project that they subscribe to. We made a significant investment in our street system this year in 2012. Over $7.5 million were invested in the streets in reconstructions. Over $4.3 million were invested for street maintenance, and over $70 million were in infrastructure was constructed by agencies other than the village. And I'd like to highlight those for you. The village issued $25 million in bonds this year to reconstruct streets that because of their condition, we could not continue to maintain. This is the plan we discussed during our budgeting sessions the past 2 years and are reflected on this table. I'm pleased to report significant progress this year with the completion of Nottingham, Valley View, and Grove Street, shown here on this table in red. We're in the process of completing the construction drawings for Conquer Square Unit 2 and Oak Grove Unit 3, both to be completed in 2013 and shown in the table in blue. This is a picture from the Nottingham project showing curbs that are in the process of getting ready for construction. This is a more completed street section in Nottingham. And this is a completed street section in Valley View where we've highlighted in the photo some of the traffic calming aspects we've incorporated into all of our projects, street construction, as well as some of our maintenance projects this year. This is a project, this is actually Carpenter Street, the extension of Grove Street onto Carpenter. We highlighted this project at our last council meeting, and this shows you also the traffic calming measures we incorporated into this project, as well as the stormwater quality improvements. We constructed a total of 7.3 lane miles of roads this year with these 3 projects. We resurfaced a total of 18.9 lane miles of streets this year, as well as performed crack sealing and patching under these contracts shown on this table. This photo shows the finished product on 56th Street at Deer Path as an example of one of our resurfacing projects. This table, these pie charts we talked about at our long-range financial planning during budgeting session this year, and show the numerical results of our investment in the street system the past 2 years. The pie chart on the left shows the pavement condition ratings for the village's streets, the accumulation of all of them together in 2010, and the one on the right shows their condition at the end of 2012 after the work we've done the past 2 years. The percentage of streets falling in the worst 3 categories decreased from 22% to 16%, and the percentage falling in the good category increased from 25% to 35%. I'm going to switch gears and talk about 2 of our major projects where we had other agencies invest in the community this year. Belmont is one of the larger projects. The Belmont Underpass was completed this year and open to traffic. It was a $60 million investment by Metra, the state of Illinois, DuPage County, and the Illinois Commerce Commission. This project provides improvements in mobility and safety for motorists and improves emergency response and enhances commuter travel in the community. The other significant project completed in the village this year is this project on 75th Street, which was done by DuPage County from Lyman to I-355, which was a lane widening, intersection improvements, and updated the traffic control, all the traffic signals along this corridor. Switching to stormwater, we completed over $3 million of stormwater projects this year, which included capital maintenance, high priority projects, and storm sewer replacements. The capital maintenance category included 2 stream bank stabilization projects along St. Joseph's Creek, and we are also in the early project stages for 2 headwall replacements and 2 restoration projects, including Kensington Place and the recently approved contract for Valley View. The total cost of these projects is about $1.5 million. This project shows one of those 2 projects on St. Joseph's Creek. In 2012, we completed over 4,200 feet of stream bank stabilization work. These are the projects that were completed that were identified as high-priority stormwater projects in the Community Investment Plan. One of these projects is the Second and Cumner project, which we've talked about at past council meetings. This was a stormwater detention project and also provided a lot of water quality enhancements and neighborhood improvements. And this project, we just found out today, won its second award, was recognized by the American Public Works Association as an outstanding project. This year, we also completed 2 storm sewer replacement projects, one at Oakwood Avenue and one in the area of Wisconsin and Janes for a cost of $773,000. I'm going to talk a little bit about our water system improvements that were done this year. We completed over $6 million of investment in our water system, which included Watermain replacements and refurbishment of the Maple Avenue water tank. The Watermain replacements were completed under these 5 contracts for almost 5 miles of water main that were replaced throughout the village. This work was done in conjunction with street reconstructions, as you see here with Nottingham, Valley View, and Grove, as well as some street resurfacing work. We also substantially completed the refurbishing of the Maple Avenue Tower. This 1.5 million gallon tank was constructed about 24 years ago. And in the process of this work, we are cleaning and recoating the interior and exterior of the tank and completing safety and operational improvements so this tank will have a long life and continue to serve us for a long time. These are some additional project photos that show some of the work on the inside of the tank as well as the outside. We delayed the start of construction of this project because of the earlier drought we had this year. So we are just completing the interior painting. We're planning to be refilling it over the winter, and then they'll come back in the spring and do the outer coat of paint on this tank. In 2012, we constructed 2 miles of new sidewalks. And when you include the sidewalk maintenance work that was done, we invested over $700,000 in our public sidewalk system this year. You can see the ADA improvements that we put with all of our sidewalk and road maintenance projects. In summary, I think we had a very successful year with our capital program this year. We completed approximately $20 million of capital projects on time and within budget. Of the projects we've closed out, which is the majority of them, the total changes for the award amounts has been a reduction of about $60,000 out of that $20 million, or about 0.3% change to the better for the village. And this is a result of good work by our engineering staff on both the design and the construction phases of the projects. We also had a significant investment in the community by other entities this year, which benefits our residents. Through all of this work, we have reduced our long-term maintenance cost and improved safety and reliability of all of our systems. And that concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you very much, Nana. We commented before, I think it's critical to have these year-end wrap-ups because our residents see a lot of work that takes place over the course of a year, but this really brings it all into focus and highlights how much is done, how much is actually under management by the village, how much we work with other agencies to fund and coordinate these projects. And while the final product is always what you enjoy the most, I think it's important to have these summaries, so thank you very much for presenting it. Are there any questions or comments from any members of the audience before I turn it over to the Village Council with respect to the year-end summary of capital projects? Other than I see a lot of nodding heads wanting more capital projects next year, so we'll continue. Any questions or comments from members of the council? Terrific. Well, I'm glad we can continue to do this. Looking forward to the 2013 year-end report. Thank you.
And speaking of year-end reports, we have another one for the council and community tonight, and that is a summary of the awards, achievements, and recognitions by the Village of Downers Grove in 2012. And here to make this presentation is our Emergency Management Coordinator and Community Event Specialist, Mary Pratt.
Good evening.
Good evening. Merry Christmas, Mayor and Council. How are you?
Merry Christmas.
I'm here tonight to talk about the Village's awards and recognitions over the past year. And I have to say, Downers Grove's really, really lucky. We have a very dedicated team of employees who, through their efforts, have enhanced the village's position as a leader. The Village of Downers Grove is recognized as a leader among other municipalities locally, regionally, and at a national level. Throughout the year, our team is focused on accomplishing and achieving goals, both on projects they are tasked with, as well as through their own development, attaining various professional achievements. Let's just click a little bit here. Several of our projects and personnel have received awards and recognition. Many staff members have been invited to present at conferences, which is a compliment to their expertise in and of itself, and or to the recognition for their innovation. I didn't want the year to go by without recognizing some of the many accomplishments of our village team. Let's see. It's not moving here. There we go. The naturalized basin and stormwater improvements made at 2nd Street and Cumner Road earned the village the 2012 Outstanding Civil Engineering Achievement Award by the American Society of Civil Engineers. This environmentally sustainable detention facility not only alleviated flooding in the area and but it also increased the public's awareness of prairie plant life through informational signage and the QR quick read code. Additionally, as Nan just mentioned, we just learned today that the project was selected by the APWA Suburban Branch as the Environmental Project of the Year in projects under $5 million and will be considered for the chapter award. That's really something, I think. The Illinois chapter of the American Planning Association selected the Village of Downers Grove Comprehensive Plan as a recipient of their Daniel Burnham Award for Excellence. The plan illustrates a vision for the physical character of the village over the next 15 to 20 years. It's a guide on issues including economic development, infrastructure, recreation, public safety, as well as land use policies. Get the next one up there. The village also received the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award from the Government Finance Officers Association, GFOA, for the 2012 budget document. This is the 3rd consecutive year that the village has been honored with this achievement, and it's the only national award program in governmental budgeting. And additionally, the village received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for its 2011 Comprehensive Annual Financial Reports. This is the highest form of recognition in the area of government, accounting, and financial reporting, and it represents a significant accomplishment by the government and its management. Downers Grove was also named one of the region's top transit communities by DePaul University's Chaddock Institute for Metropolitan Development. This institute advances the principles of effective land use, transportation, and community planning. Numerous measurable factors were considered, including the station building, the platforms, parking, walkable downtown amenities close to the station, and the degree of community connectivity to public transportation. We were also named one of the top energy-saving communities, actually we were 26th, by the Citizens Utility Board, which is a nonprofit organization that represents the interests of residential utility customers across Illinois. Energy Saver is a free utility bill-cutting program that helps consumers reduce their carbon footprint and save money on their energy bills. The National Fire Protection Association selected our very own Marcia Giesler as the 2012 Fire and Life Safety Educator of the Year. This award recognizes her demonstrated excellence in the use of educational programs. Also, the Illinois Fire Safety Alliance selected Marcia for the Wayne Lute Memorial Award for her work locally in our jurisdiction and throughout the state, sharing program ideas and teaching methods. Oops, it didn't come in. Downers Grove officer Nicholas Linkletter received the Illinois Mothers Against Drunk Driving Heroes Award for 2012. This award is presented to police officers who have demonstrated a commitment to removing intoxicated drivers from the roadway support MAD's mission to eliminate drunk driving, provide victim support for those affected by drunk drivers, and show initiative to prevent underage drinking. The Lincoln Institute of Land Policy, located in Boston, is a leading resource for key issues concerning the use, regulation, and taxation of land. Community Development Director Tom Dabereiner was one of a dozen planning directors invited to participate in a 3-day discussion that will integrate theory, practice, education and research, and provide a nonpartisan forum for multidisciplinary perspectives on public policy concerning land, both in the U.S. and internationally. I mentioned earlier that staff also presented at many conferences, as well as being published, and I wanted just to mention a few of those, if I can get this to switch. Okay. Village Manager Dave Fieldman presented at the Government Management Information Systems Illinois Conference on the village's transition to Google Documents. Mayor Tully presented at the DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference, where Downers Grove was highlighted in the Innovation Spotlight, and he presented on the village's stormwater utility. The village manager and the chief of the fire department, Chief Jackson, presented at the DuPage Mayor and Managers Intergovernmental Committee on Fire Response. Police Chief Porter presented the opening speech at the Illinois Crisis Negotiations Association Conference on the importance of negotiators. Community Development Director Tom Dabereiner presented at the Illinois Chapter of American Planning Association Conference on the village's comprehensive plan. A few more here. Public Works Director, Commissioner Neustadt, Assistant Village Manager Baker, and Chief Jackson also presented at Northern Illinois University's Alternative Service Delivery Symposium on the topic of shared services and partnerships with other governmental bodies. Public Works Director Nan Newland presented at the American Public Works Association National Conference on the topic of trends, challenges, and opportunities in public works. She also had 2 articles published in the December 2012 edition of the American Public Works Association Reporter magazine. One article was on the trends, challenges, and strategies in public works, and the other article was titled Growing Your Team Through Public Speaking, which reflects our recently formed Toastmasters Club. Karen Dalton-Lang of Public Works also presented at the Chicago Metro section of American Planners on community involvement and advocacy for planners. And finally, Kevin Babakevich presented at the American Public Works Association Sustainable Cities Conference on our hybrid street lighting. Now, wow, if that isn't an impressive list. I mentioned earlier that the village was lucky. Luck had nothing to do with these successes. Hard work, dedication, and taking advantage of opportunities led to our successes. The dramatic drop in the economy over the past few years was an opportunity for Downers Grove. This was an opportunity for change, an opportunity for innovation, and a time to look at our operations and our services in an uncommon way. Change is never easy, and it's very, very challenging. Our village employees embrace the challenges that comes with change, and as you can see, through the many awards, recognitions, and leadership from within, there is definitely a sense of pride, both personal and professional, for their achievements. And I just think that needs to be acknowledged, so I would hope you enjoy me and giving me a respect. And I truly believe, and I'm sure my colleagues will agree, that our recent successes all stem from our organization's transformation of our culture over the past few years. Village staff has taken ownership and believes in the leadership philosophy of the village, that great ideas come from anyone and everyone. Communication makes us better, and we are tough on issues and easy on people. Thank you.
Mayor and Council, I just wanted to recognize that many of the people Mary Pratt mentioned are here with us tonight, including Marcia Giesler, who is here, Nick Linklater, Tom Dabereiner, Chief Jim Jackson, Chief Bob Porter, and Director Nan Newland. So if we want to ask them all to please rise, and perhaps we could acknowledge them as well for their individual achievements. really our best first reading of the whole year, Mayor, and with that, we'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much, Mary. Thank you, Dave. And I'm glad that you called for a round of applause, because if you hadn't, I would have done it, and I'm sure we probably would have had 7 of them. Very well done. I really am glad that, once again, that was sort of all brought to bear in one presentation, because these things happen over the course of a very busy year, and everyone's busy moving on to the next challenge or the next assignment. And I think it's very important that we pause and recognize the significant contributions and achievements and accomplishments that our staff is able to make again and again and again. We try to do our best to give recognition here at home, but boy, it's sure nice to get recognition from outside the organization by others, both in Illinois and beyond, recognizing the tremendous work and accomplishments of folks here in Downers Grove, in the village staff. And I think that's tremendous and all well-deserved, and thank you for all your efforts for continuing that history of excellence. It's also, I think, equally important to point out that that list of conferences means something, because when you're invited to speak by these various national organizations, what that means is that you're recognized as a leader in the field. Others come to these conferences because they want to hear from the best and the brightest, and the more and more of our folks that are invited out there to speak and talk, that truly demonstrates, not just because we say it that makes it so, but the outside world recognizes Downers Grove is truly a innovative, cutting-edge organization that is leading the way in better municipal government. So I personally thank you very much, and know that my colleagues want to weigh in as well. So I don't know if there's any questions from the audience, but if there are, if not, I will turn it over to my colleagues for any questions or comments. Commissioner Neustadt.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, this is a tremendous list, as we've heard again tonight, and it's interesting as the year goes on, the awards seem to keep coming in recognition and the speaking engagements. I think Dave had a full whiteboard in his office not too long ago of all the things that we talked about tonight. And to see them all together and hear the different departments, it's remarkable. The individual awards and recognitions are great, but I don't want to forget the support that goes into all of that. All of the individual awards are supported by the entire organization, cross-department training, cross-department cooperation, whether it's a call for Officer Linkleiter and the BOC support staff, if it's the community development, the code enforcement officers. I could go through each department, and it's all a department, but it's in the entire organization. This council, the management team, the entire organization works as a team. And tonight we got to see the cool part of being part of this municipality. It's great. We have achieved the recognition that we all asked for not too long ago, and it seems to be coming in regularly. So thank you to everybody, and please let the rest of your department know that we all appreciate all the hard work that you do. It's tremendous, and to see it all in a list like that really does hit home that we are fortunate to live in Downers Grove and be part of this organization. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Other comment, Commissioner Schnell.
Just a short comment. It's always been extremely important to me that we be recognized, that the village be recognized as a leader, not only in DuPage County, but nationally. And now that we have achieved that, and that's very important to me, and I know it's very important to our staff. What has impressed me more than anything when you look at that list is that it's not the manager or just his office. It's the recognition is across all spectrum of the organization, all departments. There's innovation everywhere in this community or in this management team. And that, I think, really says a lot about all of our employees and the fact that they really want to do what's in the best interest of this community, but also what is the cutting edge and is at the first line of innovation. And it's amazing to me that it's so broad within the organization. It's not just public works, but it's not just one part. It's everywhere. And that's awesome. I mean, it's absolutely awesome. When I started this 25 years ago, it was more centered just in the village manager's office. This goes well beyond that. And I'm so proud of everyone who has been part of this, and every one of our employees, because it's not just the people that have been recognized, but as Jeff said, the people that support them and the people who really make this organization as good as it is and really makes it a place that people want to work at. And that's extremely important. So congratulations to everyone. It's just mind-boggling, absolutely mind-boggling. So it's awesome.
Thank you. Commissioner Durkin.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I just want to highlight and just give a little tidbit of additional information regarding one of the awards that was announced, and that's the Government Finance Officers Association Award for Budget. You know, a lot of people are familiar with the IGFOA, which is the Illinois Government Finance Officers Association. It's almost become a custom and expected that we win the awards that they give out on a yearly basis. But to be able to attract and win the award at the GFOA level is quite an accomplishment, in my opinion, because there's over 17,000 state, local government finance officers, not only located in the United States whole, but also in Canada. So I mean, this is a big national, almost one could say international award, and there's a tie-in to winning these awards, and this one I'll talk about only because this is what I do for a living, not give awards or win awards, but in the finance world, is that when you win these awards, they are attracted by, or the rating agencies look and see this, which has a direct impact on our rating agency, with our rating that we get from those agencies. And what does it mean to the resident of Downers Grove? It means that this bond that we just approved tonight to go out for no more than $3 million will attract us a much better rate than if we weren't doing the jobs that we all preach about. And this is just proof in the pudding that it's being done. And this is huge. And all the comments that have been made are so true. And it's nice to be able to come out and see this. And to see where our tax dollars are going, you know, especially during the budget process and everything we do here. So there's a lot of sweat and tears that go on behind these walls to get this job done, but this is really a huge, you know, it's just awesome to be able to be in a community like Downers Grove and win so many. It'd be interesting to know, and I'm not asking staff to do this because it may take a little bit more than 4 hours, to see based on all of these awards we won, the number where the nearest community like Downers Grove is. I don't know if there are any. So kudos and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Commissioner. Other questions or comments?
Bill.
I was turning, making sure. Didn't want to ignore Commissioner Barnett. Commissioner Waldeck.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations to the whole team. I think has been well said. It's broad-based, and that's the real key here. It's not just one particular department. And when I look back at the condition of the village 8 years ago, the improvements that have been made are just phenomenal. And I know I won't. You know, I've always respected and always knew that we had a great police and fire and public works, and that there were a lot of challenges in the planning department, I know, and it's just phenomenal, the awards in that department alone. Nobody does it on their own, even if there's a name attached to a particular award. We all know it's team-based. I think it's fabulous, and the changes over the last 8 years have been great, and I just think that all of our residents should appreciate the fine work that the staff does, that everybody, all of our employees do, and we've asked them to do even more because hate to repeat the cliche, but we are doing more with less. So that's another addition. It costs you less, and you get a lot more, and you get a lot of awards. But Commissioner Durkin helped me out here a little bit because I thought if you're going to get a big award for finance and planning and budgeting, I thought it should come with a check. But we'll take checks. But Commissioner Durkin brought up that there is a financial incentive to all this. So great. Thank you. Merry Christmas to all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Rankin?
I don't want to repeat what everyone has said up here, but I'd like to congratulate staff on a job well done. I think all of the words are wonderful, but the highest form of flattery is imitation. And I think by requesting our staff to come and speak at conferences, that's people are trying to steal the hard work that you've done and the ideas you've done, and that's just a tribute to your innovation. And so great job, everybody.
Thank you. Well said. You don't have to. He's fine.
Speechless.
He's speechless.
Bob, speak.
You know, Mayor, if you're gonna give me, I guess, a fourth chance, I at the risk of sounding repetitive, you know, our staff does a great job. The best thing about tonight for me is putting this out on television so that our residents can see it. because I don't know that everyone does every day realize that there are 300-plus employees really working hard. That list, as my colleagues have said, is certainly not inclusive of everybody, and it's a team effort, and we've heard all the cliches, but the truth is it's bearing itself out. And we as a council challenged our team several years ago to do just that, and they have come through in spades. And I'm just really proud of them. I hope all our residents start to look at this and see it, and then look at it again, and then see it again, and start to process it, because it takes a lot, as those that are doing it know, to run a village, and it takes a lot more to run it as well as our group is doing it. So if I seem a little bit down-keyed about it, it's only because I have such confidence in the group, and I know that they have. This is years in a row. This is not only 2012. This is years in a row, and I fully expect they will continue to lead the pack and impress all of us in years to come as well. They're a good group of people who are really properly motivated from top to bottom, and it's just exciting to be part of it. I thank them for it.
Well said.
So I expect it. I don't mean to be so downtrodden about it.
Wasn't suggesting.
They're that good. I know they're going to do this every year.
Wasn't suggesting anything to the contrary. Thank you. And I just want to pick up on something briefly that Commissioner Durkin hinted upon, and that is these awards and accolades this isn't a private sector business where it translates into better stock prices or profits or things like that, but what it does translate into are direct benefits for the residents of Downers Grove, because ultimately they are the ones who benefit from the bottom line of this innovation and this culture of exceptionalism and tradition of excellence that, as was mentioned, it runs both broad and deep. So I will conclude with 2 words: thank you.
That ends our first reading tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Love ending on a high note like that. That brings us to item 9, and thank you. That brings us to item 9, the mayor's report. I have no mayor's report tonight, so it brings us to the manager's report.
No report. Happy holidays.
Item 11, attorney's report.
No report. Happy holidays.
Wow, look at this. All right, item 12, council member reports and new business. As usual, we'll break this up into new business, and then we'll go to our individual council member reports. Do any members of the council have any items of new business? Commissioner Waldeck.
Thank you, Mayor. This is more of a heads up rather than new business, because I intend to bring this up in the new year. When we were talking about redoing the fowl ordinance, or the more popularly claimed chicken ordinance, I asked when the deadline for a referendum would be, and I believe that was January 22nd. And our meeting is expected to be January 21st. So I do plan on making some suggestions about putting this out to a referendum at our next meeting in the new year. So I would just ask my fellow council members to think about it over the holidays, not on the holidays, take the day off, but in between now and then the possibility of turning this over to a referendum, and to keep an open mind about it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any comments on the new business item proposed? I'll just point out that there were some suggestions from members of the public to this very point as to whether or not this would be something that should be put out for referendum. And I'll just give you some comments to think about over the holidays as well. Generally speaking, I'm not a fan of referendums, because I think that governing by referendum is an abdication of the responsibilities of the elected officials, which are ourselves. We are elected to represent the entire community, and there's a referendum every 2 years as far as I last checked, and that's called elections. I think it's our job to do our homework and govern by making decisions, and not governing by referendum. Not to say that there aren't occasions, and the law says that certain things you have to do by referendum, but generally speaking, I think that we ought to do our jobs and govern as elected officials. That's just generally speaking, again, not to say that it's never appropriate. But the other thing that concerns me about the suggestion, and again, I'm more responding to some inquiries that were made by members of the public, not so much you, Commissioner. This isn't introducing a new concept. We already have an ordinance that permits fowl to be raised and kept under certain circumstances in Downers Grove. What we're potentially talking about is an adjustment to it. And I can't think of any adjustment of that nature that has gone to referendum. In fact, if you look back a number of years at the residential redevelopment regulations that were done that dealt with setbacks and floor area ratio and various things like that. None of that went to referendum. It was something that was adopted after a great deal of discussion and public input and hard work and thought. There are a lot of things where we talk about existing situations that we want to modify that don't go to a referendum, which leads me to my last concern, is what exactly would the referendum say? I don't think we're there yet to put anything in a referendum. My understanding is we're going to be talking on the 21st about what it is that we might propose as a modification of the existing ordinance. I don't even know if we could even articulate what would go on a referendum right now, and I'm not even sure we'll be able to by the 21st. But I understand your point, and again, Commissioner, I wasn't so much reacting to your comment as some input, I think, questions we've received from members of the public that were of a similar nature. So that's just my initial thoughts.
I could come up with several wordings, so something to do over the holidays.
Understood. Any other questions or comments on that point of business? Any other items of new business, any members of the village council? It's not too late to shock the village manager.
Is that like shock the monkey?
Ruin his holiday?
All right, then I will ask for council member reports of this last meeting of 2012. Commissioner Barnett, you want to kick us off, please?
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I wanted to do is, as I suspect all of my colleagues want to do, we'll just run down the line here and say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of our residents. Certainly, we've all gotten a lot to think about within the last week that probably we weren't planning on. So I hope everybody takes this next couple weeks and just does some reflection on the years past and some hope and prayer about the years to come, and finds their family and friends and those that are important to them and those that they love, and spend some time. That's really what I think, regardless of your faith, the next couple of weeks is typically most appropriately about. So I hope that everybody does have a happy holiday season and a safe new year, and we'll see you in 2013.
Thank you. Commissioner Neustadt.
Thank you, Mayor. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, safe and happy New Year. Please remember, while you are celebrating your holidays, there are a number of village staff actually working those days, police, fire, probably public works, and others that will be here serving and protecting us so we can enjoy safely and peacefully at our homes. Merry Christmas to my colleagues and to the rest of the village staff, and Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2013. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Durkin?
Yeah, I just want to echo what everybody said, but on top of all that, there's still a few more days to do some shopping, and I highly encourage you to please shop Downers Grove. We need all the sales tax revenue we can get. We may sound like broken records, but you know what? When the budget comes around, staff can illustrate where those sales tax numbers are, and we can pretty much tell you what area of town they're coming from. And with that, we are hoping, not watching you, we're hoping that you'll remember our great town, Village of Downers Grove, as you just saw for yourselves all the awards we won and why you should continue in our town with the shopping spree. On another note, I actually want to, I thought I never would do this, but I'm going to do it, so I'm going taking, I guess, a privilege. I want to wish our son, Gavin Daniel, a happy 4th birthday, who I know is at home probably watching me right now and eating all kinds of cake with his mother and his sister and the rest of the family. So I just want to wish him a very happy 4th birthday, and tell him I'll see him later on. If not tonight, tomorrow morning. And happy holidays.
Happy birthday, Gavin. We'll hurry up and get out of here so you can go home and celebrate. Commissioner Rankin.
I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and have a safe and happy New Year.
Thank you. Commissioner Waldeck.
Just no apples, no audio tapes of From a Wonderful Life or anything like that. Just a very simple, be well, be happy, return in the new year. Best to everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Schnell.
Just Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and Happy Holidays to all the residents, to staff, and my colleagues. And I just want to congratulate Mike Baker and his family on the birth of the most adorable child that we got to see tonight. Leo Graham Baker is a doll. And I wish them all the happiness in the world. Oh God, he is so cute. So anyway, we got to see him today. And what a wonderful Christmas present for his family. So,
absolutely.
You know, Merry Christmas to everyone, and a safe New Year. If you drive, especially New Year's Eve, don't drink. It's not worth it. So, have a great holiday.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. January 1st, Shocker, it's a Tuesday, we're not having a council meeting that night, so we won't meet until the following Tuesday in January. So I want to take this opportunity to just point out that the American Cancer Society Relay for Life is, after a long hiatus due to various construction matters at Downers Grove North High School, is making its return to the track at Downers Grove North. That will be in June of 2013, so that wasn't what I wanted to tell you about. But the kickoff party for it, where everyone is encouraged to put their teams together and sign up for the event, it will be held on Wednesday, January 16th, 2013, between 6:30 and 8 o'clock p.m. at Ballydoyle here in Downers Grove. That's 1557 Main Street in Downers Grove. There'll be prizes, door prizes, be able to network with others about fighting cancer and celebrating surviving. And then obviously that's all the kickoff for the Relay for Life itself, which takes place in June. I wanted to get that announcement out to everyone. Once again, I want to thank very much Claire Drews for being here tonight and giving us that very moving rendition of Silent Night. She happened to be back at home from Indiana University and obviously grew up here in Downers Grove and is a very accomplished young lady. So again, I want to thank her and her family for sharing some time with us tonight. And then finally, I too want to wish all the members of village staff and the Downers Grove family very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and nothing but health and prosperity in 2013. We will see you then. I want to thank my colleagues for a wonderful year and wish each and every one of you and your families a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and nothing but health and prosperity in the new year. And then finally, of course, wish all the residents of Downers Grove, thank them for all that they do to make everything that we do possible. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, best wishes, health and prosperity for 2013. We will see you in the new year. Thank you again. And with that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Schnell.
Aye.
Commissioner Durkin.
Aye.
Commissioner Rankin.
Aye.
Commissioner Barnett.
Aye.
Commissioner Newstead.
Aye.
Commissioner Waldeck.
Aye.
Mayor Tully.
Aye. We are adjourned. Good night and God bless. See you in 2013.
Police,
Can you read this real quick?